Ireland was handed a formal veto over the Brexit divorce deal today as Brussels chief Donald Tusk said Dublin must agree it before it is given to other EU leaders. The EU Council President struck a tough line on a visit to Dublin and standing alongside Irish Premier Leo Varadkar admitted British politicians might find it hard to understand. But he said if the draft divorce deal Britain presents on Monday is unacceptable for Ireland, it will be unacceptable for the EU and warned, the UK's future lies, in some ways, in Dublin. Mr Varadkar said good progress was being made but demanded more credible assurances from London over how it proposed to make the UK-Ireland border work. The Taoish said the next couple of days will be crucial but said with the right political will we can reach agreement. Prime Minister Theresa May is due to meet EU Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker over a working lunch on Monday. If a draft deal is not in place, it will make it unlikely EU leaders will agree to start trade talks at a summit in 2 weeks. Irish Premier Leo Varadkar and EU Council President Donald Tusk put on a united front tonight as they called for more concessions from Britain. Ireland has suggested leaving Northern Ireland in the customs union as the simple way of ensuring there is no hard border inside the island of Ireland. As Mr Varadkar and Mr Tusk put on a united front, the Irish Premier said the EU is a family and families stick together. In return, Mr Tusk used the joint press conference to warn, it is the UK that started Brexit and it is their responsibility to produce credible commitment to do what is necessary to avoid a hard border. Mr Tusk said the EU accepted it was not possible to finalise every detail before trade talks are finalised. But he said Mrs May was due to present a final offer by Monday. A possible solution involving sweeping new devolution to Belfast emerged yesterday. It would allow Northern Ireland to closely follow EU rules while leaving the Brussels club with the rest of the UK. Earlier, Irish Foreign Minister Simon Coveney said Dublin would not allow the status quo of a functioning, invisible border to be lost as a byproduct of Brexit. Mr Coveney's latest intervention came as MPs in Westminster warned it appeared impossible to reconcile the government's decision to pull out of the single market and the customs union with its declared intention to maintain a frictionless border. The Brexit Committee said the government's proposals for dealing with the issue, including using technology to create a light-touch border, were untested and to some extent speculative. Foreign Minister Simon Coveney, pictured today in Dublin, said Ireland would not allow the status quo of an invisible border to be lost as a byproduct of Brexit. Hilary Benn, file image, and his Brexit committee today warned it appeared impossible to reconcile the government's decision to pull out of the single market and the customs union with its declared intention to maintain a frictionless border. Speaking in Dublin today, Mr Coveney said, "We are not looking for unnecessary friction in these negotiations between the Irish and British governments.